Hi Margaret, hello there. Hi. Hello Gayla, good morning. Thank you for joining me. Hello Shelley, hello there. Are you all well? Hello Carolyn. I'm very well, Carolyn. I've just been out and planted a basket, but I'm a bit cold now. Hello Andrea. Hello there. Hello Marjorie. Good afternoon. Hello Diane. Simple and quirky. Good afternoon Shirley. Good afternoon Jane. Hello there. Good afternoon everybody. Hello Piggy Sue, how are you? I've just been watching the ducklings. They're so funny to watch. Hi Kim. Yeah, it is a bit cool, isn't it? I just planted one basket and then I came in because I was quite cold. Hello Floriana, hello there. Hello Sue. Yes, we're very safe and well. I've not moved from this house. Hi Karen. I just wander from the garden through to the house. Hello Flower. Hello June. How are you? Hi Roz. Good afternoon everybody. Good afternoon Kim. I can see your gardening today has inspired you. Using gardening tools. Yay, Chris got in straight away. Well, that makes a change, doesn't it, Chris? Perhaps somebody's looking down on me and feels sorry for me. The fact that we have to fight to get in. Hello Fiona. Hello there. Hello Sachu. How is everybody? Cream crackered, been sorting my craft room out for 2 days. Oh, Margaret. Mind you, I've been there, done that. It took me ages. I remember once completely emptying my room, and my room's only a small room, and I emptied it all out, and it took over the landing, the spare bedroom, my bedroom, the bathroom. It was everywhere. Hello, Sue. Hi, Janet. Hello there. So yes, I do feel for you tidying your room. Hello Lynn, hello, good afternoon. Hello Leslie, how are you? Hello Chris. Hello Pat, good afternoon. Hope everybody's well. Hello Lee. I'm very well Lee, are you? Hello Ginny, and Ginny says hello Tracy and the gang. Hi Serena. Got a kit today to make some face masks. Somebody mentioned making it out of a sock yesterday. That's more my style rather than a kit. I'd be useless. Oh, thank you Janet, thank you for sharing. Hello Jennifer. So yes, I'd probably be better with a sock. I just don't go out and don't bother. I'll just stay put. I'm too frightened to go out. Hi Sue. The green workshop house and back again. Yeah, that's me. Garden, workshop, house, greenhouse, back again. Hi Christine. Hello Linda. Hello there. Good afternoon everybody. I'm trying Classic Facebook today to see if it's any better watching your videos. Classic Facebook. What's the difference between Classic Facebook and any other Facebook? I'm very well, Becky. How are you? You've been in the garden since 7 AM, Kim? Wow, what have you been doing in the garden? Have you been planting or reorganising? It was too cold for us to eat in the garden, Kim. It's quite cold. Yes, that's fab, Serena. Here it's raining 5 centimetres snow on Monday. Oh, lovely, Sachu. I don't want snow. It's cold, but not that cold. Thank you, Margaret. I'm just waiting a few moments because some people take a few moments while my son found the secret place where I kept his biscuits so he wouldn't eat them all. Oops. So he's eating them all now, is he, Jennifer? Is he eating all the biscuits? Hi, Jean. Good afternoon. How are you? Good afternoon, Anne. I can't see the comments. Oh, well. Never mind, Gayla. I wonder if you go out and come back in again, you'll see it. Managed to finally get in. Hello, Anne. Hello there. And Ginny's making face masks for key workers. It's a good job some of you can sew, because left to me, I'm useless. Just watching, listening to you on my mobile and pegging out washing. It's the perfect day to peg out washing, actually. You have an idea for another workshop? Oh, lovely, Serena. Hi, Maureen. I'm very well, Linda. Tidied mine before Christmas, still not found my sunflower stencil. Whoops. You were trialling the new Facebook for them. I haven't loaded anything new. I don't like loading anything new at the moment because it just causes me problems. Guten Tag, Anjay. Guten Tag. Just digging and weeding and clearing the path. Wow. Crikey. Mind you, mine takes forever to clear. Anne, I've ordered frescoes, paints and a stamp from Stampers Grove. Oh, lovely, Anne. What colours did you order? What about a never-ending card? I've seen them. It's funny because I'm not a big fan of like different folded cards. I don't know why. I like the standard folded ones, but I have seen them. They look nice. Good afternoon, Sarah John. Good afternoon. Hello, Liz. Hello, Michelle. Well, I think we've got a few now, so we seem to be rocking and rolling. Swipe across the screen for comments, Liz says. Oh, there you go. Gayla, Liz says swipe across the screen for comments. Hi, Jenny. I learn something new every day. Unfortunately, he has now. They are in the car out the way. It's all right when you've got hide the biscuits in the car, Jennifer. Oh, and Karen's ordered some stamps and stencils. Ooh, fabulous. I ordered some, was it Gina? Gina mentioned to me, hi Hazel, Gina mentioned to me about some, you know I like magnifying glasses because I buy the vintage ones, but she pointed me to some charm ones, some charm magnifying glasses, so I've just bought some of them. You can make masks from bras. Better idea than wearing them normally. I can just imagine Hope wearing my bra on my face. That would be an attractive look. Yeah, you were right. I went out and came back in and I've got comments. You see, Gayla, I'm useful now and then, only now and then. Hello, Akina from Belgium. Good afternoon. Hello, Anita. Good afternoon. Butter, Byzantium, willow and double denim. Oh, lovely. You see, you've got a nice mix there because you've got a light colour and your colours that'll mix as well, and double denim's fab. Good afternoon, Marianne. Good morning, Marian and Marianne. Good afternoon. Good morning, Marianne. Oh, crikey. There's international viewers, so it confuses me when I say good morning and good afternoon. I mean, it doesn't take much to confuse me anyway. I swiped and here I am. Yay, Madeline. That's fab. Where did you find the charm magnifying glasses, please, Sarah? If you go into the group, I'll have to find the post. But Gina tagged me in the post and I bought some and they look fab. So I'll have to try and find the post for you, Sarah, because it was Gina that tagged me. It's all my fault. Is it my fault, Anne? That's the thing, isn't it? Deciding which set to buy. Good morning. Finished working on 6 paper doll as part of a swap. Oh, I hope you're going to share your paper dolls, Laura. So I've made a few bits, but I haven't made a project. So it's a case of going with the flow today. Good morning, Laura. It's a case of going with the flow. Bless you, I've been out of sorts today and done nothing. It's been a wasted day. No, Shelley, because everybody, I know you're replying to Jane, but everybody needs a break and a wasted day now and then. I'm going to have a wasted day tomorrow. Hello, Sheila. When I come live, I always get hiccups. I think it knows I'm coming live. So, hello, Sue. What I'm going to use today is I'm going to use my garden tools. So I fancied using this set because I haven't used this yet. So hubby walked in, as you said, walking around with the bra. Rizwana, does your hubby think I'm mad? Does he actually believe you watching craft, or does he think it's a strange sight? Linda's waiting for index clips. Oh, bless. And a stamp from Hixie Soft. Yay! I hope you get your index clips. Come here, it's only 11 AM. Start over. Hi, Deb. How are you? The snails, yes. Yes, we all have them kind of days, Shelley. Trust me, I'm having one tomorrow. I need a wasted day tomorrow. It does us good now and then. Hello, Tracy Trouble. Just came in from some yard work. Hello, Lindy. Hope you didn't work too hard. I get hiccups every time I come live. Hello, Stephen. How are you? Good afternoon. How are you? Hello, Amy. My hubby says it sounds like Carry On. It is like a Carry On movie in this group, isn't it? We are a bit like a Carry On movie, to be honest. We're a bit nuts. There you go. Fiona says to Linda, hello, sweet neighbour. Paul Leslie from Chocolate Baroque looks broken on the video today. They're having a few days off. Oh, I don't blame them. Everybody deserves a few days off. Right, what I'm going to use today is I'm going to use mud splat and honeydew. Carry On crafting. Yeah, can you imagine our movie? Yes, he was on today, wasn't he, Liz? So can you imagine our Carry On movie with us lot? Oh, crikey. Hello, Shabnese. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a sort of a painted, just paint the background, just basically. Good afternoon, Mary. Good afternoon. Good morning, Autumn. Had a lazy day myself. I don't blame you, Isabel. What's wrong with a lazy day? I don't think there's anything wrong with it. Not at all. So I'm just adding a good dollop of paint. So that's my mud splat, which just looks like a mud splat, actually. I wish Monday would hurry up and come round so I can get my one this way. Hey, look, Gina's added a link. Gina, you're a gem. The next sellout. We're so addicted. Hello, Shabnese. My Pilates on the bed while... Oh, now Linda's doing Pilates on the bed. Do your boobs hang low? Trust me, they hang low. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a layer of paint to my card. This card is 300 GSM, white card, smooth white card. And I'm just adding a layer of the mud splat. A layer of the mud splat. That's exactly what it looks like, a mud splat. And then I'm going to pick up the honeydew and just apply it over the top. Just to give me like an ombre effect with paint. Just to give me like an ombre effect. I wash the floors with mine. Hope washes the floors with hers. So I'm just creating like an ombre effect with paint. So it's just a quick background, just to create a little ombre, like so. So I've just created a little ombre with paint. And if you want, you can go back and add a bit more darkness. There you go. Sarah's just got some. Yay, Sarah. I got some as well. There you go. That's Sarah sorted. So I'm just creating an ombre with the paint. But you need to work reasonably quickly because obviously your paint will dry. So I'm just adding layers of paint. So I'm just creating a little ombre effect with my paint. And I'm just using a soft brush just so that I can blend that colour. Just so that I can blend it. And that will be fine. So now we can clean up the mess. Thank you, Gina. So there's my ombre card. Let me just clean up this mess. I'm actually laying on bed, resting my back, been sitting in one position too long. Oh, Stephen, I do that. I sit in a position too long. And then your back just seizes up. I hope you get rested. So I've just got to clean all this mess up, folks. So we'll just move my card out the way and then I'll bring it in. There you go. Serena's just ordered some. Would you know, we're just nuts. We're just addicted. But the magnifying glasses, I've always collected magnifying glasses for years. So I love them. So I'm just cleaning up my mess. That's exactly what I've done all day. Shelley, don't worry about it. Don't beat yourself up. We all have them kind of days. Don't beat yourself up. So here's my card that looks like an ombre effect. And that's an ombre effect with paints. So I'm just going to dry that. It's almost dry anyway. But it's a lovely, textural, nice background. I just shared your live with friends, including Seth Apter. Whoops, Laura. Thank you, Laura. Bless you for sharing. I do appreciate it. Ordered a magnifying glass stamp. Yay, Leslie. So I'm just going to give this a dry. Could Gina repost it, please? Oh, no, Anne can't find your link, Gina. Are you still there? So I'm just... This is my background that I'm creating. Let me just get a bit more clean up. My other half has come in here because he loves to listen. I bet he thinks we are mad, Anita. He's just had a chuckle at the bra comment. It's carry on crafting here. Now we're putting bras on our face. I mean, there's just no hope, is there? Thank you, Gina. There you go. Anne, there's Gina's link. Bless you, Gina. Helping everybody out. Right, so there's our background. I think it just needs a little bit more drying. I'm chucking stuff on the floor. Hang on. Let me just chuck things off the floor. It doesn't matter that you're late, Kim. We've only done a painted background. That's it. I haven't done anything else. I'm slow today. Oh, bless you, Shally. We're here to pick everybody up if you're feeling a bit down. Better a bra than... Oh, I'm not... No, exactly, Gina. I'm not even going to say that because Anita's husband's listening. Oh, what the heck. I am not putting my pants on my face. Put it that way, Gina. No chance. Not for a mask. So can you see I've now got a nice ombre effect on the card. Oh, just had a phone call. Can you remind me of the colours you used? Of course I can, Chris. I used Mud Splat and Honeydew, and I've just created an ombre just by swiping them across the paints, across the card, just to create an ombre. Sorry, what did I miss? Went shopping. I literally just painted Mud Splat and Honeydew onto the card just to create an ombre effect. They'll soon be gone. June's ordered ears as well. We're bloody possessed. So you can pop the leg holes over your lungs. No, Gina, I am not doing that. Oh, bless you, Diane. Thank you. There's going to be no magnifying glasses left. So I quite like, what I like, Chris, is it's just, when you create the ombre effect, it's a nice quick background. I've been asked for some quick backgrounds that don't take too long that everybody can achieve. Well, all I've done is swipe across like that, so anybody can achieve that. Even Anne's ordered some now. But what I want to do is I want to add a little bit of warmth to that. Hello, Lynn. I want to add a little... If I miss any of your comments, I do apologise. The Distress Oxide is Walnut Photo. It's Walnut Photo. Oh, good grief. Is vintage... My brain isn't working. Is Vintage Photo. The poor person that's selling these magnifying glasses is going to think, what the heck is going on? Was it you that started the toilet roll? Yes, it was, Liz. I started the toilet roll shorting. Only use the left. You don't want to feel a right. Right, so I've got my ombre background, but what that needs is, I need cheering up today. Oh, bless you, Roz. We're here to cheer you up. I don't mind making a fool of myself like I normally do. Thank you, Angie. Thank you. I've got nails as well. Makes a change, Lindy. So because this ombre background is a little bit cold, it's a little bit cold, so I want to add some warmth to it. So I'm going to use the Vintage Photo Distress Oxide ink over paint. Hello, Jackie. So I'm just going to use the Vintage Photo Distress Oxide ink over the paint layers to give me another look. So I'm applying it direct to paper. I'm applying it direct to paper. This is to give me some warmth to my background. It's going to make it less cold, but I'm applying it direct to paper. Direct to paper. So it will look a bit aged and it just warms the whole effect up. So what you need to do then is you need to spritz it with water. Spritz that Distress Oxide with water on top of the paint. And then wipe your mess up, she says. Hi Elaine. I missed the link from Gina due to this. Whoops. Gina keeps posting the link. Same here, Michelle. There you go, Gina. It looks like we need a link again. Let me lift this up so you can see what kind of background we're getting. And this is Paints and Oxide ink. Paints and Oxide ink. I'm trying to think of simple backgrounds for some people that don't want overcomplicated backgrounds. So this is Oxide ink on top of paints, and it gives it a different look. Gina's going to get finger ache in a minute. There you go, Anne. There you go, Michelle. There's the link from Gina. So just so you can see. Hello, Sue. So I'm just heating the background up. Linda's ordered. Do you want commission, Gina? I know, I wish I got commission on Tim Holtz. I'd be rich. Okay, I've ordered some too. This person's going to think, why is there such a rush on these? So I'm just drying my card because this gives me a different effect. I will lift it up when it's dry. I will lift it up when it's dry. Just let me turn the card over. Oh, bless Fiona. So I'm just drying the card and then I want to show you what kind of effect we get. What colour paint did you use? Missed that one. Joanna, I used Mud Splat and Honeydew. Mud Splat and Honeydew. And can you see the Distress Oxide gives it like an aged, burnt kind of look. An aged, burnt kind of look. So this is ink on paint. And if you want, you can go over and do another look. And you can apply another layer. So it gets richer and richer. You just apply another layer. And it gets more and more effective the more you add on the ink. So you keep going over and you keep spritzing with water. Because it just gives it more of an aged look. Valentina says thank you. Everybody's replying to Gina. Didn't have far to go. Oops, Christine's ordered as well. The salary's minted now and we are all chuffed. Exactly. Deb's ordered some as well. Oh, it's so funny. Oh, limited quantity remaining. Oh dear. So what you need to do is, if you can, you need to let that dry naturally. It is better if you let it dry naturally. I haven't got that luxury. Goonies, the Goonies. Exactly, it looks a bit like rust, but you've added paint and ink. So it just gives it a different effect. And I will lift it up just so you can see the corners, but I just need to dry it. So this is the paint and ink. Just to give an easy background. Some people can't do difficult backgrounds and they don't want to, and why should they have to? You should be able to get effective backgrounds in simple techniques. I'm quite pleased with it, Gina, when I was doing it today. Really pleased with it. So I'll just dab that because I haven't got time to wait for it to all dry. But can you see round the edges, it looks sort of rusty, and she only had 20 to start off with. She's doing really well. Oh, she has some other really lovely charms. So the paints were Mud Splat and Honeydew, and the ink, Linda, was Vintage Photo Distress Oxide. There were 32 sets, now 16. Well, she hasn't now. But it's quite effective, this area here. And where you can, it really looks lovely in real life. Gina shared a link as she used one on a project. Yes. Little magnifying glasses. So it just gives you a different technique. So next, let's just move that project this to one side. So what I've got now is, I didn't look at anything else, just got those before they sold out, bless. What I got was, I got this envelope, and I wanted a little envelope. Picture's a bit blurry. It looks okay here, Serena, for me. It looks okay for me. Thanks, Steph. So that's what we've done so far. And now we're moving on to the next step. Hello, Eugenie. So I've got an envelope here, and what I've done is I've drawn around the envelope. So I've literally just drawn around it. I've drawn around that envelope onto card. Just drawn around it onto card. At least the lady will only have to go to the post office once. Exactly, Shelley. So I've drawn around that envelope. Just move that out the way. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to scrunch that up, because I want an aged envelope. I want an aged one. I'm losing all my bits here. Not my personal bits, but my bits. It was when you did the close-up. Oh, when I did the close-up, it went a bit blurry. Let's see if it'll do a close-up now without it going blurry. It's just that this area here looks really nice. Looks lovely. Looks sort of like metal, but sort of tarnished. It looks really nice. So I love how the ink looks on the paint. So the ink on the paint looks really nice. So I'm just scrunching up my envelope. And this is done by lots of designers, Tim, everybody. Scrunching up your card. Just scrunch up the fibres, just so the fibres crease and bend. So just crunch them up. And then you can just go over with your Distress Oxide ink. I have done one I've done before, so don't worry. So just go over with your Distress Oxide ink, exactly the same colour as we've used in the background, Vintage Photo. And you do this several times, and what you do, just spritz with water, just so the ink bleeds. And then you can create an aged envelope. Oh, thank you, Angie, thank you. So you can create an aged envelope. Now what you do is, you dry that layer and you apply the colours again. Which ink, please? Vintage Photo, Sue. Vintage Photo. So I've scrunched it up, and this, when you do it several times, this is what you get. Now I ironed mine. It's all right, Carolyn. So I ironed mine. So I scrunched it up like this, and then I dried it. And then when you dry it, so you dry it, and once the ink is dry, you go over again. Yes, it does, Serena. So this is a technique that's been around for over 40 years. It's done in many different ways. It's done in many different ways. Lots of designers do it. Some people do it with glycerine, which you don't really need to. The glycerine softens the card, but you don't need to. Now, you can leave it and add layers, and you get this. Now, I ironed mine, but you don't have to iron it if you don't want. If you don't iron it, you get more of a crumpled up piece. So I just ironed that one. So that's my envelope. So these are the two pieces we've got now. And as you can see, this coordinates with this around the edge, just so that it looks like I've thought about it. I'm so blessed to actually have this day off and find you. Oh, hello, Shihag. Hello there. So it creates a lovely effect. But I do like it when I'm doing vintage. When I'm doing vintage projects, I love it. So this is going to go here like this. But what I want to do is add a touch of stenciling. I did this technique on a teddy bear stamp for a while. It was super. Yes, Laura, it looks great on a teddy bear. But this background technique is nice and simple for everybody. So what I want to do now is I want to add a touch of stenciling. So I'm just going to clean up. Let me just clean up my mess. Let me just clean this up. Iron is a 4-letter word, only iron paper. I only iron paper. I don't do much else ironing wise. I just iron paper. Hello there. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to add some stenciling to the background. So my thinking is this is going to go there like this. So that will go there. But I just want to add a touch of stenciling here. Just a couple of bits of stenciling. So I'm just going to add a little bit of the honeydew. The cell will be, I know, exactly. So I'm going to find my brayer and I'm going to add a touch of the honeydew. Just a touch of the honeydew paint, just to the edge of the stencil. Just add a touch of the honeydew, just to the edge of the stencil and spritz with water. Just spritz that with water and just place it on the edge here. So just place that on the edge. I'm just going to dab my stencil with my kitchen roll, just to allow that moisture to soak in. Oh, have you, Steph? Bless. Yes, it's a nice stencil, Steph, this is. It's a lovely stencil. I like the marks that it leaves, but I only want a touch in the background. Can you see? I've just got a little touch. So I'm thinking this will go here like this. So I just want a little touch down here. So I'm going to add a little bit more paint. A little bit more paint. And the stencil will pick up some of that oxide ink. It will pick up some of that oxide ink. So I'm just spritzing with water. Hello, Leslie. Just allow that to sit on there again and just dab. Who's a keeper? What did it? My hubby does my ironing. Oh, Jane, that's fantastic. No, that's the one. Mind your hubby does the cooking. I can't complain. He does the cooking. So that's brilliant. And I'll lift this up so you can see. Let me just clean my mess up so that we don't get in a total mess. And then you can see the background that we're creating. Thank you, Shelley. Thank you. So I will lift this up so you can see. I've got that much rubbish lying around everywhere. So can you see? What happens is the paint picks up some of the vintage photo. So the paint picks up some of that vintage photo and it adds to all the layers. So it picks up the vintage photo. And if I go to the lighter area where we did the ombre, it's all right, Sonia. So you can see it picks up some of the vintage photo here of the ink and it gives you a nice effect. Just gives it a different effect. And it adds to all those layers. So what I'm going to do now is just dab that dry. It looks like metal, doesn't it, Anne? And just a nice simple technique for those that don't want complicated techniques. If you don't want a complicated technique, it works really well. And you don't need expensive products. Just use your paints, as long as you've got some brown paints. So that is what we've got so far. And what I'm aiming for is I'm aiming so that my envelope will go here like that. So that's what I'm aiming for. I'm going to get a piece of calico, take a piece of calico and take my stamp set, take my tools and stamp them onto the calico. It does, doesn't it, Vanessa? I'm quite pleased with it, considering I'd got no idea what I was going to create today. I'd got no idea initially, and then I thought I'll just try it, see what it looks like. So I'm just inking that up. Thank you, Leslie. I'm really pleased with how it's turned out. So I'm just going to stamp my tools onto the calico. And I love the tools because they're a reasonable size as well. Did you miss 30 minutes, Christine? No problem. You know it's always there on Rewind or on YouTube. So it'll always be there for you to catch it up. So I'm just stamping the tools onto the calico. So as you can see, I've got the tools now nicely stamped on the calico. And we'll just give that a rip. My first All and Create order was shipped from Abs to Canada. Oh, let's hope it arrives soon, Laura. How long does it take to Canada? Is it 3 weeks? 3 weeks or something like that? So I'm just ripping the calico just so that the tools, let me just make sure I don't rip the tools. So that we've got the tools like so. You're in for a treat. let me just bring in all the bits that I've got now. So calico. So what I'm thinking is my calico, let me, do you remember? Whoops. Do you remember this mop-up piece from yesterday? Do you remember this mop-up piece from yesterday? I stamped the tools onto there. We mopped this up yesterday from paint that was left on the non-stick craft sheet. So this was left on the non-stick craft sheet, so I'll literally stamp the tools onto there. So what I'm thinking of doing is I'm going to add this like so. So this is where we're going. My orders from the US to Canada are taking 3 weeks, Karen says. Not too bad. Hi Belinda, hello there. So not too bad really. I don't think it's too bad. So I'm now going to add a little bit of stamping, judging where this is going, because I'm thinking of adding this here. And what I've got is I've got the tools stamped and embossed, so that I've got my little tools and I've cracked them. There's some cracks here. I've literally cracked them. Hello Belinda, how are you? So I've just stamped the tools, because what I'm thinking is I'm thinking of adding the tools like this. So the tools will go there, and that'll just bring me a pop of colour just to give it some life. Thanks Belinda. So this is where I'm thinking of going. So I'm just going to pull this out because I now want to add a little bit of stamping. So I'm just going to see what the numbers look like if I stamp tone on tone. Yes, I'm very well Belinda, thank you. Are you? Doesn't it, mine's coming up to 6 weeks. 6 weeks? So I'm just going to add some of this stamped. I'm just going to see if some of the numbers in Vintage Photo will show up on the lighter areas of the card. So I'm just going to see if it'll show up on the lighter areas of the card. Yes, it will. So can you see? I've just got it tone on tone. First came on TV. Oh, I'm glad you're all answering, everyone. So I've just got this number 5 here. I'm doing a little bit of random stamping. So I'm always in mind of where everything's going. So I just want to keep in mind where all my actual layered elements are going. So I'm just thinking about where my stamping is going. So obviously the brown won't show on the dark area. So I'm just stamping the brown on the light area at the moment. Do you like me pointer scissors, Belinda? It's because I know sometimes it's difficult to see where I'm stamping. I'm doing my pointer scissors again. So then I've got, what I'm hoping is, you can see that I've got some stamping here as well in the background. And I'm going to add a touch of stamping around here as well. But I like that brown. So just a little bit more. Were you a sleepyhead, Belinda? That's all right. Did you lose me hope? So I'm just going to add another stamping to the background. Just another layer to the background. You might only see part of it, but that's fine. Yes, that's perfect. So now I'm going to stamp in black. Love the vintage looking envelope. I know it looks lovely. I love the envelope, Belinda. Nice and easy to do. So I'm just going to stamp the numbers in black. So I'm just going to stamp some of the numbers in black, just to add some detail to the background. So I'm just thinking, I'm going to add these here. Just move my envelope. And I am thinking about the composition as I move around, just to make sure that I don't cover every inch of space, because this is going like this. So the black just brings it some to life. They are hopeless, Kathleen. I stayed up to watch Abs last night. He came on at 3 AM. Oh, crikey. So now I'm just going to blot that ink because it's stamped onto paint. So I just need to blot it. I just need to blot that. Because as you can see, a lot of ink comes off. So you do need to blot it. Yes, no wonder you're a sleepyhead. So I'm just blotting that. So that takes a bit of ink off. I'm still thinking about my composition. Just still thinking about the composition. So I'm just going to add a couple more black numbers just to my composition. Where's my wipe? Just make sure I get rid of that black. I've got some black on the back of my stamp set. So I'm just making sure I clean that. And then I'm just going to add... So I'm just stamping randomly at the moment. I'd definitely give them a ring or message them. So I'm just adding this to here. That's it. That's all I need. I don't need any more numbers. So I'm just going to blot those to make sure they're dry. I almost got to bed at a decent time because I was tired. Cleaned all day yesterday. So I'm just literally blotting that. Just so that, can you see how much ink you get off if you don't blot? So I'm just blotting. And because you've used paint, I'm going to give it a dry. I'm going to give it a dry. Just give that a dry. And I'm not going to rush the process. So now I'm going to add this here, like so. So that's going to go there, and this is going to go here. So I think I can stick them down now. I have to mess around with this because I can never quite decide where they're going. So that's it, just so that I've got that in the background. So this is where I'm going. No problem, Karen. Speak to you later. Yes, if you've got any issues, obviously there's not much I can do here online. So the best thing to do is message Hochanda or All and Create. So I'm just adding this here. I have to mess around with it just to make sure I've got it just where I want. Yep, so I'm going to stick this down. So I'm just going to stick this down to my background, like so. Just adding it, and I'm just going to mess around a little bit just so I know that I can see some of the numbers in the background. I won't press it down too much yet until I'm really happy. So now I can press it down. And then I'm going to add this here so that we can still see this envelope in the background. So I'm just going to stick this down like so. And I love the texture from the calico. The texture from the calico is wonderful. It just adds to that vintage feel. And I don't stick it all down. I leave some of it so the edges stick up a little bit. So that the edges stick up. So I'm just going to add that to here. So you can still see the numbers in the background. You can still see the background, and you can still see the texture from the calico. So I love the frayed edges, the fact that you've got the stencil in the background with the numbers as well. Hopefully it should, Belinda. Yes, it will do. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add my tools. I've got these tools that I've clear embossed, and I'm just adding a bit of colour. So I'm going to add these here, just to add this bit of colour. Just to give it a little bit of life. Let me just move these because I'm losing all my bits now that I need for my projects. I need that stamp set. I've got a card to make for an elder. Oh, have you, Jeannie? Yes, I love. I'm really pleased with the background. They're a lovely size, Belinda. They're quite a nice size. They're not too small. So I'm now going to stick these down. Stick these little tools down, and I have cracked them. I've cracked the clear embossing just to give them a more aged look, and I've bent the card a little bit to age it. You need to put a clump of dirt a clump of dirt. So I'm just adding a little bit of adhesive. I sort of don't stick right down to the edges, just so they look lifted a little bit. I will lift it up so you can see them. Did you get here before the end, Sue? I haven't finished yet. I'm a bit slow today, Sue. I'm a bit slow. But it doesn't matter. We don't mind a bit of slow. And how are you, Sue? How are you? So let me show you what we've got so far. So can you see we've got, I don't know whether you'll see it on camera, this is actually cracked here. So I've actually cracked that. A quab of dirt. Oh, right, Belinda. So we've got cracks here and I've cracked it on the handle. And you can see all the layers in the background just on the, I just love the little tools. And then if you look at the background, you can see all the layers that we've got with the stamping and the little envelope as well. So we've not finished there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add, because when you think of the garden, I always think of twine. I always think of some twine. So I'm going to add some twine. So I'm just going to stick my twine down with a little bit of adhesive, because it should be fine with the adhesive as long as I let it stick. Obviously, sometimes you don't have that luxury when you're live, but that should stick. Just add a little bit here. I'm just concentrating with my adhesive now. So I'm just adding that. So the twine always reminds me of gardening. So it always reminds me of gardening. Oh, bless you, Gailey. So I'm just adhering that down. I think the twine gives it a gardening theme. I think it just gives it a little bit of life, doesn't it, Maureen? Just with a little bit of colour. I love the little bit of colour. And then we've got the little snail, who I'm going to crack now. Just crack that. We've got the little snail. We've got to have the snail, haven't we? Got to have the little snail. So we've bent him a little bit. So we've got a little snail. Oh, it's going blurred a bit. So just let my camera catch up. Come on, camera. Try and catch the focus. So we've got a little snail. And I'm going to add the snail here. But what I want to do is, do you know the garden labels? The garden labels that you can get? Yippee, the snail. So I've got one of them labels and I've just coloured it with alcohol inks. I've just coloured it with alcohol inks. It's all right, Joe. So what I'm thinking of doing is I'm going to add the label across there. Just to add the twine, the garden label, garden tools, just sort of all connect. So I'm going to use some of my ultra thick gel medium. Just reaching for garden. We've got to have a garden label. So I thought a garden label was a nice touch. Brian, it's Brian the snail from Magic Roundabout. Oh, hang on. Belinda says a Dymo label is coming today. I'm going to add some colour to the fence project. Oh, yes, I know. I've done that many projects now. I lose track of which projects I've done and which projects I haven't done. Trying to think up ideas. So I'm just adding a little bit of the gel medium. And I'm going to add that to my project. Just a little label like so. That's a garden label. Yes, glossy accents for snail trail. I can do that afterwards, but I'm going to add my little snail as well. So I just want to add the little trowel there. Where's my little... I love adding the little details. That's what takes me ages. I love adding the little details. So I'm just adding the word trowel and garden fork. But it doesn't matter that you're late, Annalise. You can watch it on rewind. So I'm just adding the word trowel to there. So glad I ordered this one. Oh, thank you, Lynn. Thank you for ordering. So I'm just adding the... I love having fun and adding the little bits afterwards. I love not rushing my project. I don't like rushing it. Oh, we've got a bit of glue there. We can't have that glue showing. Let me just get rid of that. So we've got garden fork, and you don't want it all stuck down pristine. You want bits sticking up so it looks a bit more like a garden thing. Yes, this one is only on pre-order right now. Yes, it's on pre-order for you, isn't it, Belinda? Yes. So I've now got this so far. So I've got the garden tools, the little snail. I haven't stuck him down yet. I haven't stuck the snail down yet. I'm going to stick him down. I'm probably going to tuck him under the twine a little bit. No, like that. Yeah. I'm talking to the snail now. Yes, they'd look good on shrink plastic. Absolutely brilliant on shrink plastic. They'd look fab. I'm just going to stick Brian the snail down. So we've got to stick Brian the snail from Magic Roundabout. I've decided I'm losing the plot. So stick Brian down. Let's move that up so you can see. Just so the twine goes over him a little bit. Stick Brian down. I need me white. What are we saying? They would look adorable. Yes, shrink plastic along with the bug and the beetle. Absolutely. That's why I want them to all work together. They'd look fab all working together. But you know what it's like. I have to sort of take my time in doing the projects for you. And I've only got so much time or else you'd get bored of waiting. So I'm just going to add a paper clip, which I can't get on my envelope. I've got to have a paper clip on my envelope because that's me. Just have that. Let me bring the stamp set in. Where's my stamp set? So I'm just looking at my stamp set. Yes, I'm just going to stamp the word garden tools as well. He's a happy snail, isn't he? Forever known as Brian. So I'm just going to stamp this, garden tools. Let me just remove this stamp. So I'm just going to stamp garden tools onto a piece of calico. Let me just move that. I've got so much rubbish all over the place now. Just going to stamp the garden tools. I'm sorry if I've missed a bit of your conversation. Concentration's taking place. But I'm still here, be okay to be... Oh, crikey. So I'm just going to stamp the text onto calico. I love the garden tools text. So I'm just adding that to the calico. So it needs to go... Let me just move my project out the way. So I'm going to stamp that. Let's stamp it here so we can rip it. Garden tools. Oh yeah, Father's Day. Of course, Maureen, I've forgotten. Of course. Do you know, this is why I'm not switched on, because I don't know what day of the week it is. Yes, I hope all goes well, Belinda. So I'm just going to rip this now. Hopefully I'm not ripping the sentiment. Just ripping it just to give it some, just to give it a rough edge, because I don't want a tidy edge. So I'm just ripping it again. And I'm so into my calico at the moment. I'm really enjoying it. There we go. So we've got garden tools. There we go. I'm now going to add this. Oh, I've just smudged Brian. I forgot Brian was stuck down. Whoops. There you go, Brian. Forgot about you there. So I'm now going to add garden tools across here. And I'm going to add a paper clip over one of the words. So I'm just going to add a paper clip over one of the words. I'll show you what I mean in a minute when I can actually get the paper clip. So I'm just adding the paper clip over the word G. So I'm just adding the paper clip over the word G, just so that it highlights it, just to give it another little embellishment. So I'm now going to stick this down on here. So I'll just stick down. Oh, thank you, Lee. Thank you. So I'll just stick this down now. So I'm never going to be able to call this snail anything other than Brian now. So I'm just going to add this here. like so. And I love the little touches like adding the paper clip. Can you see the paper clip over the G? Paper clip over the G. Hang on, June, they might come. So we've got a little paper clip over here, like so. And then, let me just have a look. I'm going to add a little arrow as well, because I'm quite into these arrows at the moment. Quite into the little arrows. No, not as heavy, lighter. I know, I'm talking to a cardboard snail. I mean, for goodness sake, what's wrong with me? It's because I smudged Brian. So I had to put him back again because I smudged Brian. Poor Brian was smudged. So I'm going to add the little, what's this called? An arrow. I'm going to add a little arrow. But I love taking my time. All the little touches you add. I love doing the little touches, Fiona. It's my favourite bit. So you need to do a Zebedee, Jane. Yeah, a Zebedee. Magic Roundabout. That Magic Roundabout music was in my head all weekend. Even Ian was singing it the whole weekend. He was singing it the whole time. So let me just see now. I have to think to myself. Just bear with me while I just think to myself. Absolutely, yeah. It's going there. Sorry, I have to talk to myself. I do this when I'm creating at home on my own. I talk to myself, and Ian comes into me sometimes and he'll say, "Are you talking to me or are you just talking to yourself?" And I talk to myself the whole time. So I'm just adding that there, like so. You see, I love these I love the little touches. The little touches are what make it for me. The little touches do. So I'm just going to add a paper clip to here. And I'm so pleased with that background. Just add a paper clip there. Like so. And then we've got to do... Oh, so that's why it's called Brian. Brian, because of Magic Roundabout. Because we're flaming nuts. That's why, Belinda. I'm just going to add it to a frame. Let me add it to a frame. So I'm just going to smear... Whoops. Some of this over the background because it's easier to do it with this because it won't dry as quick. So let me just smear this over the background. So I'm just smearing ultra thick gel from Dina just on the background of my frame. I love how you all talk to each other as well. You all know each other now. This is why we've got to meet up afterwards. So just adding some of the ultra thick gel to the background because I'm going to add it to the frame. I'm going to add this to a framed piece. What are we saying? Got mine too. To the Magic Roundabout. That's why it's called Brian, because Belinda doesn't know what the Magic Roundabout is because Belinda's in America. So just add this to here. So we're just going to plonk it in, thud. And you don't want, hang on, let me just get rid of the glue from that because I don't want the glue. Let me just get rid of the glue here. I can't have glue showing or else that will irritate me. Let me just, there we go. So I'm just adding this, and you don't want, you want it to look a little bit bumpy, a little bit rough and ready, so it looks like a proper garden project. Yes, I'm liking this. Let me just think to myself now. Whoops. And what I'm going to do, it would be a riot, wouldn't it, Tracy? Meet at the convention. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint this vase now. Let me paint this vase now with my paints. Let me just get a piece of cut and dry foam. And what we're going to do is get some gesso. Let me get some gesso. How long have I been on? I don't know how long I've been on. Oh, crikey, doesn't the time go quick? So I'm just going to add a bit of gesso to this pot. What was this? No way, have a really bad phobia on them. On what we're talking about now. So I'm just going to add some gesso to this vase. Just add some gesso to this vase, just so that I can add a bit of paint. So, because this is just a plastic pot, it's just plastic, so I'll have to be careful how I hit it. What are we saying? Oh, no problem, Serena, you enjoy your tea, I'll just carry on anyway. So I'm just going to carry on. I want to add to this, and then I'm just going to add a little bit. Let me just stick this down at the end. Let me just add a blob. Hang on. Let me just add a blob to this. That's it. There we go. Thank you. I've not finished yet. You're all going, oh right, thank you. I thought you were all going then. I'm still going to add a little bit of a vase to the frame. I'm going to add a little vase to the frame, just to prove that you can add your embellishments as well. So I'm just adding a little vase. 8-legged freaks. Oh right, got you. So I'm just adding, and look at me, I've got paint everywhere. Just going to dry that a bit. No, I don't like spiders. I don't like spiders either. Absolutely no way. So now I'm going to add a little bit of the brown paint, the mud splat. Add a bit of that. And what I'm trying to prove here is that with your stamps, you don't always have to create cards. You can create different things with your stamps. You can create framed pieces. You can create whatever you want. It doesn't have to be all about cards. I adore making cards, but I'm trying to show how versatile the stamps are. That's all I'm trying to show. Look at my hands. Yes, the arrows are Tim Holtz. So I love the frames. So just remove this. You can't dry this much because it's plastic. So I'm going to add a little bit of the turquoise. Not the turquoise, the greeny colour. Let's add a little bit of the greeny colour to the pot, just so it looks like it belongs, because we don't want it to look like it's just landed there. We want it to look like it belongs. So I'm just dabbing with a piece of cut and dry foam, just to give some of that green to the pot, just so the pot looks like it belongs to the project, and squeeze into that little white area as well. There we go. I'm quite enjoying myself. What are we catching? I find them quite endearing. Oh, I love geckos. Oh, I love geckos. So what I'm going to do is now, let's move this paint, bring in my pot so I can stand it up, so I can work at it standing up. So I'm just going to, oh yes, that is going to slip now. So I need to make sure that I add my pot here like this. So can you see the pot belongs now? I'll have to do it without that. The pot belongs to the project. And what I'm going to do is add some little flowers. I love geckos as well. Not scorpions though. No, I don't like scorpions. I'm sorry. Absolutely no. Definitely not a scorpion person. So I'm just adding a little bouquet of flowers to my vase. No, we haven't. In comparison, no, we haven't. Exactly, Shelley, we haven't. So what I'm going to do is add some flowers behind the vase. Like so. So I just need to stick those down. Just need to stick these flowers down. Just so it takes time to... Obviously it's difficult to hold the frame up because obviously I've got to let everything dry. So now I'm going to stick my frame, I'm going to stick my vase on there. I'm just going to get a little bit of paint in that white area. No, I wouldn't try to catch a scorpion either. No chance. No chance would I try and catch a scorpion. Just going to add a bit of green paint to the vase, just so that I don't have that white area. Just adding a little bit of the green to the vase. That's better. Do you ever spend ages doing projects? I just spend ages creating projects and trying to get the detail just right. I spend so long doing it. So I'm going to add this vase here. That's perfect. So we'll use a bit of the gel. Geckos are cute. They are, Jane. Geckos are very cute. So I'm just going to add this gel like so. Just so I've got some. So what you can see is I'm adding my vase here. Make sure it's straight or else that's going to be a problem. Like so. And then I'm just going to add a little word. I love how you talk about it. Days and days, Tracy. Yeah, I do that. I do that as well. I spend ages. I'm now trying to get a wipe out the packet. And of course the packet is sealed and my hands are slippy. I get loads of geckos in the backyard. Oh, I love geckos. They're just gorgeous. Because Marianne's in America as well. So Marianne's in America. So I'm now going to add this Go See and Explore just to my project. Go See and Explore. So this is going here. I love this one, I think, even more than the pear. Wow, Belinda. I can't be doing bad if you like this more than the pear. Obviously, you need to clear your glue away when it's set a little bit. You can't mess with it too much. So that will set clear. So there you've got Go See and Explore. And then I'm just going to add. The colour combo is a little bit different, isn't it? Just a little bit different. So then going back to the stamp set, just one final touch. We've got Dig, Dig, Dig here. So just one final touch. Let me move this out the way. But this is what I spend ages doing. It's the little touches that I like doing. So I'm using the word dig. And I can't see, dig. Move these out the way. Oh, thank you very much, Maureen. The reason I wanted to do these was, obviously, a lot of the time I make cards and I wanted to prove that I love doing mixed media projects. And your stamps are fantastic for mixed media. They don't have to just be for cards. So I've got this dig word now. So dig, which I can't stamp straight because my eyes are going all over the place. Oh, I love the frame. I love the frames, Hope. I love the frames. I think this might be my last one. I can't remember. But then again, I'm going to have to change it up a bit or else you'll get bored of these. Still a bit of vintage. Oh, absolutely. I love vintage, Isabel. I'm vintage mad, which you probably know by now. So just the word dig. Want all these. Just let me have a think. Going to add that to my pot there. Or I might add it there. No, it's going to my pot. I want it on my pot. So add that to my pot. Like so. I love how this comes together. And I think that is enough detail. So if I hold it like that. Exactly, yes, Shelley. So as you can see, if I just hold it further down because you can't see it, you've got the Go See and Explore because that's what I do in the garden. Little flowers, we've used calico, we've used the stencil, and the garden tools are the focal image. You have to zoom Belinda in, yes. So it just, And the pot, because it's in green and browns, it looks like it belongs to the background. So I'm really pleased with that. We've got a little plant label as well. I'm sorry I can't hold it straight. Let me hold it flat and then you can see, because some things are still drying. So I hope you like that, just to show you something a little bit different than a card, just to give you a different project. I'm really pleased with the background as well. So I hope that gives you a couple more ideas. No, Belinda, I just put a search in for 8x8 inch shadow frame, box frames, and I can't remember where I got them from now. It was ages ago. I'm so glad I have each on. Oh, bless you, Sue. Thank you. And thank you, everybody, for your orders and your shares. It's just I'm trying to give you some inspiration, just so that you know that your pieces don't have to always be a card. They can be different things. So I'm really pleased with that. So I hope you enjoy the frame, Belinda. The frame is 8 inches. The frame is 8 inches by 8. The pots were from Ali. So it just gives you a different idea. And if you look at that background, it looks lovely. You're very welcome, Sue. So I hope you enjoyed that. And I will show it again on Facebook just so that you can see all the close-up details, because there's lots of cracks in there. The little paper clip over the G, the arrows pointing to the garden tools. All those little details are important. So thank you very much for your company, and I will see you on Friday. Tomorrow is my day for catching up on a bit odds and ends. At odds and ends, I may add that little bit of paint blob as well. So tomorrow is, yes, you can get them from IKEA, I would think, Jennifer, you're right. The pots are from Ali. She's in the UK from, oh, what's it called now? I'll have to try and find the link. But yes, I got them from Ali. Oh, thank you very much, Maureen. I really appreciate it. It just shows that the stamps are quite versatile. I just love them in that colour. So I will see you on Friday. She's called Ali. I forgot what it's called now. Clever Cuts or something. Yeah, that's it. Margaret's got it. Clever Cuts. Oh, James has dispatched you some stamps, Leslie. Yay! Yay. Oh, thank you, Eugenie. Dried coffee grounds for dirt would be neat. Yes, you could put like bits of dirt here. You could even like get bits of, what is it called now? Flower soft, and put all that at the bottom and make it look like dirt. So I hope you enjoyed that. Oh, thank you, Chris. Thank you very much. So I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll see you all Friday. I've got no idea what we're making Friday. I'll have to have a think. That's it, stamps away. Thank you, Lindy. I couldn't think. So I'll see you all Friday. Tomorrow is a day of catching up with odds and ends. So I'll see you all Friday. Thanks for your company, and I'll see you all soon. Bye. Bye.